Welcome viewers. Jan Neary back here from Theatre Redlands, and today we'll be speaking to another character from the coming program Women of Their Word, which has been postponed, but it will be on stage when the curtain rises again. Leona Kyling is a very significant local Redlands woman, and she will be being played by Anne-Marie Anderson. And Anne-Marie's with us now. Anne-Marie, hi.
Hi. Hi.
Thank you, thank you. The woman that you're playing, I mean, she was with us until very recently. You know, people will remember Leona. People knew Leona. Does that sort of limit your ability to interpret her as an actor?
When I was asked to do Leona Kyling, I didn't know anything about her. And the first knowledge of her was the script. And it just jumped out, this woman with just so much life. She'd lived such an amazing life. She'd done so much. I then started to read a little more about her. And it just, the script itself was very enriching, but I didn't know anything about her. But she's an amazing woman in the Redlands. Incredible what she did. So I don't think her dying in 1975. I was thinking about this before, and I thought, well, she'd be more like my grandmother, age. And I think that people that knew her will be maybe watching. And hopefully, they'll see that sense of the lady in the script, because it's definitely there. And I think it's a wonderful script. And she was an incredible woman.
Yeah, I'm much indebted to Mick Bright for his biography of Leona Kyling, because there is an absolute wealth of information in there. And as you say, she's a really multi-skilled woman. What do you think are her characteristics that most define her?
Well, first up, when I started to read and then start to understand the character herself, she was incredibly strong-minded for her time. She was determined and also giving. I mean, she did very well in herself for a woman financially, but she gave a lot back. I think she had admirable qualities of strength and character. And I think that she liked people. I think that was one of her things. She loved to be part of it. She was very vivacious, very out there. She did shows. She was always wanting to be doing something. I think she was awesome. Yeah.
She was certainly a very practical businesswoman. Are the things that you found out about her in her poetry that perhaps weren't as exposed in the other parts of her life?
Well, when you read about her, she's strong and she's determined, and she's bought land and gave a lot out there and was always doing something, always out there, and very strong. But her poetry is more simplistic in the sense of it's kind of disarming in a way, of calmness there, and love. There's a lot of love there. So I've thoroughly enjoyed reading her poetry. It's lovely. It just shows a softness that it doesn't show in the writings about her as a powerful woman and the strength. But there's another side to her. It's really lovely.
If she were alive today, if she came along to see the show and you sat down for a cup of tea afterwards, do you think you'd be friends?
Yeah, I think I would. I think she'd amuse me. I think so. I as soon as I read, I laughed. I thought I can really see how hard she had worked as a woman, especially in the times, to be what she was. And I think I'd like her, definitely. I'd definitely ask her a few questions about how she made all her money. Because she did really well. I'd be like, can I have some tips? Yeah, I think I'd like her a lot.
I was particularly taken with her book of handy hints, and I think there's a copy
Oh,
at Redland Museum about household hints for cooking and cleaning stains and how to make concrete.
I know how to make concrete. And I mean, she did so many things. I mean, she did retail. She was
She was a
everything. She
milliner,
did,
wasn't she?
yeah, a milliner. She was a dressmaker, and then at the end, she how to make concrete. I mean, you know, what extremes of the spectrum is that in life? I mean, good on her. Good on her for just doing it. Jam making. She did
Yes,
jam making as
yes,
well, and she also traveled and did dressmaking. I
yes,
mean, how awesome is that? She just go to festivals that were happening and then make dresses for people. And
yes,
she was a pioneer. She was awesome.
yes.
Yeah,
And set up, I
entrepreneur.
think, the first aged care centre in the Redlands.
Absolutely. She was there waiting, you know, and she fought for women who had to travel so far that they were having to pregnant women. They had to go all the way into Brisbane.
Mm,
And she was like, no, I'm not having this. Things need to change. So, yeah, I think I'd like her a lot. I think she was awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
splendid woman.
Yeah.
Anne-Marie, thanks so much. It's wonderful that you're so enthusiastic about this,
Oh,
that
absolutely.
you're channeling. Could you give us part of the script or perhaps one of her poems that you think defines her?
Well, when I first started rehearsing, I was just reading the script and thinking, where would she, you know, where would she sit with this? What would she do? And the last poem was was one of her last that she wrote in her life. And it's kind of really, it got me. It got me that it's just so, it's a just what it is about life. It summed it up for me. So I would like to read that, if that's okay.
Please do.
Okay. I stand and look into the night and gaze into a million lights. A soft breeze gently fans my cheek, and everywhere God seems to speak. Watching the clouds as they pass by, making images in the sky. Now a mountain, now a peak, and everywhere God seems to speak. A soft moon spreads her light around, showing up the soft green ground, alike on ocean, sea, and creek, and everywhere God seems to speak.
Thank you, Anne-Marie.
Oh,
Beautifully
pleasure.
done. I'm sure Leona would have loved that rendition.
Thank you
Thanks for
so
being
much,
with us
Jan.
today. Anne-Marie Anderson, and she'll be playing the part of Leona Kyling in Women of Their Word, which will be on stage at the Redland Museum just as soon as the boom is lifted and the curtain rises again. Thanks for
Bye.
sharing time with us.
Thank you. Bye.
Anne-Marie Anderson, and I'm Jan Neary from Theatre Redlands.